Hi, I'm Rob with Hayneedle. This is a short video on the assembly of the George Deluxe chicken coop. The estimated time on this assembly is around 45 minutes, and the only tools you will need are a Phillips head screwdriver and a 10mm wrench, both of which are not included. Now, using 12 of your screws labeled as 3, we'll now be attaching our front A, our back B, and our sides C and D. To do so, locate the dowels on A and B and the holes on the sides of C. Insert the dowels into the holes. Once you have all 4 in place, take 3 screws for each side and insert into the holes on the side. Use your Phillips head screwdriver to tighten into place. Once you have 3 on each side of C, repeat this step for D on the opposite side. Using our 2 screws labeled as 2, we'll now attach our piece E to our piece D. Start by opening the door and line up the holes on the side of D with the holes on the inside of the door of E. Insert 2 screws and tighten into place using your Phillips head screwdriver. Using 3 of our screws labeled as 3, we'll now attach our piece F to our piece D. Place F onto the piece of the wood sticking out of D and insert 1 of your screws into each of the 3 holes. Use your Phillips head screwdriver to tighten them into place. Using 4 of our screws labeled 3, we'll now attach our piece G. To do so, insert the dowel rods on the end of G into the holes of E and F. Then insert 1 screw into each of the 2 holes on each side. Tighten down using your Phillips head screwdriver. Now take 4 of your screws labeled as 4. We'll now be attaching our pieces H, J, and I. Start with H and J. Place them on top of each other, and using 2 of your screws, insert 1 into each of the holes. Tighten into place using your Phillips head screwdriver. Repeat this step for your opposite side. Now take your 4 bolts labeled as 1, untighten the hex nuts from the end, and place on the side of the coop from the inside out. Next, take the nesting area we just assembled and insert the bolts into the open side. Once you have a side on, use your hex nuts and tighten into place. Repeat this for the opposite side. Once we have all 4 bolts tightened, we'll now place in our flooring labeled as K. Place your first piece down and slide over, then your second. Next, take your flooring labeled as L, and we'll now attach it to the larger side. Put your first piece in, then your second. Now take your piece S and insert into the grooves on the inside directly in the middle. Using our 2 screws labeled as 5, we'll now attach our ramp labeled as M. Place the hinges of the ramp into the opening like so, and insert 1 of your screws into each side and tighten down using your Phillips head screwdriver. Using our remaining 8 screws labeled as 3, we'll now attach our roof labeled R and O. Start with your smaller piece. Just simply lay the wood inside and let it rest on top. Repeat this with your larger piece. Make sure the cutouts are both facing up. Then insert 4 of your screws into each of your pieces of roof. Once you have all 8 in place, use your Phillips head screwdriver to tighten down. After you have all of your screws tightened, take your 4 screws labeled 4 and your piece P and place right on the top. Insert 1 of your 4 screws into each of the 4 holes and tighten down using your Phillips head screwdriver. Once you've tightened down all of your screws, take your piece Q and with the lip on the top of Q, insert through like so and lay down. You'll then have a lock on the nest box. And there you have your finished chicken coop. Hi, I'm Rob with Hayneedle. This is a short video on the assembly of the George Deluxe chicken coop. The estimated time on this assembly is around 45 minutes, and the only tools you will need are a Phillips head screwdriver and a 10mm wrench, both of which are not included. Now, using 12 of your screws labeled as 3, we'll now be attaching our front A, our back B, and our sides C and D. To do so, locate the dowels on A and B and the holes on the sides of C. Insert the dowels into the holes.